Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Today I wanted to talk about why Diablo 4 has no end game and why all RPG games should have a well-defined PvP system as an end game content, one of the major end game contents. So before I get started, I just want you guys to watch this Diablo 2 PK tournament. There's $2,000 online, and this guy's uh, almost in the final match. And yeah, they're risking their characters' lives for money on the line. So let's get started on this.
Lady, go!
Like, there's people who literally risk their characters for the money on the line. I mean, it's understandable, but this is like the real man's match. One death, you're not coming back. Ah! Oh. Level 92 assassin one-shotted. Oh my god, yeah, charged ins were insane in PvP. But anyways, yeah, let's get back to where I was. But Diablo 4 does not have any end game. It's not a surprise. I came back after season 1. After I made my poison rogue, I was busy with my new work, and I went on to do my own things because there's literally no other content to consume. And in season 2, they even made it shorter. Like, I mean, in terms of getting to max level and being able to enjoy all the contents in the game, it literally took me less than 1 week, and I didn't even play like hardcore wise. Like, I only put in like 2-3 hours per day, and then I was able to reach max level within like 1 week or so. So I think the volume itself is a problem too. I mean, and some casual players would enjoy that, but then if you're gonna get to level 100 that easily, but what is there to do afterwards, right? I mean, if there was like a vast volume of end game contents, like, yeah, like that makes sense. It doesn't matter if you level up that fast, but in this case, yeah, they have next to nothing. So and I think that every good RPG games, or at least the long running and the community surviving RPG games, they all have like a well defined, or not even well defined. They have like a good PvP system in them. Like, for example, Diablo 2, it doesn't really have like a good PvP system per se, but the community has kept it alive. Like, I mean, and the farming system in Diablo 2 itself is just it's like, I compare it to as every item dropping is like you're going to the casino. Basically, you're literally, you could get like a burr rune or jaw rune just out of nowhere, right? Like, I mean, it's and the power spikes. I mean, it's a very luck dependent, but that's what RPG games are, right? And at the core, because that's why people keep going back to Diablo 2, because of its gear system, because of its farming system. I mean, that's biggest part about it. And the PvP system is so fun because there are so many builds that you can go for and are viable because of the rune war systems, and then the fact that other classes can use other classes skills and stuff like that, because there's items that grants you those kind of skills. And it makes just so much field variety, right? And yeah, and why I think PvP should be like one of the major content for the end game RPG game, because a human versus human interaction is just a lot less predictable, and it's a lot more rewarding when you get kills. For example, like if you just kill a mindless monster, or even like a very challenging boss mob per se. Like, after playing, like, maybe I would say like a 10 to 20 rounds, even if it's really hard, you will get to see start seeing the patterns, and start seeing that the damage, and you will basically memorize what to expect out of that mob, and it just makes it less and less fun, less and less challenging. And it's, I mean, some people might find that fun, but I do come from the competitive gaming background, where back in Korea, where people go to PC bangs and they would literally compete in StarCraft tournament, or League of Legends or Overwatch, whatever it is. It's very PvP focused, because killing other players online is very rewarding and fun. Like, because it's just like another human. Humans are social creatures, like I said. I mean, it's just it is by the nature, I think, too. But yeah, like, it is a must to have. Like, human versus environment, it gets old really quick. No matter how complicated it is, no matter how many patterns there are, you will learn them, and you will just you will conquer them, and it's not going to be challenging anymore. Whereas human player will be able to like revise his build, and then come back at you, and it's going to be just a lot harder, because PvP specific builds have counters, and have the meta, and like which build which build beats which build and stuff like that. And to my next point is that's why they should have a dedicated PvP balancing team for Diablo 2. Like PvE and PvP balancing is completely different. Like if like adjusting certain numbers in PvE will might ruin the experience in PvP. Like is that drastic? Like I think they should really have a PvP specific balancing team. So, season one Poison Rogue or Eternal Realms Poison Rogues, for example, like they were just destroying everything. So if it's that unbalanced, then maybe there should be like a real time, not even real time, maybe a weekly patch of nerfing and buffing things in terms of PvP if you want to make people enjoy PvP. And another point is that like Diablo 4 has like a very weak PvP arena system. Like if you look at Lost Ark example, for example, I didn't play this game for extended time because of the gear honing system and all that pay to win BS. But um, at least it had a very good PvP system. I'm not gonna lie. Out of any RPGs I played, they had like a dedicated elimination style, like a arena match, and they had like a ranked game where you literally be given ranks depending on your performances and stuff like that. I mean, it was literally better than any other ARPG games I played. But yeah, like I mean, maybe they could take a note out of this, but it's just you need to have some sort of system. And I remember Lost Ark having very rewarding system, whereas where if you just PvP, you'll be able to hone your gears literally just from PvPing, right? So in Diablo 4, what do they give you? Some cinders, which is just trash. Like after you buy all the cosmetics, it doesn't even matter. Like cinders are just kind of trash. I mean, you can sort of roll your like gloves or whatever, the random gears, but it's just not nowhere as rewarding as Lost Ark is. And maybe you should make some sort of a. And also, my other point is that it doesn't have any matchmaking. Like you need to have the PvP matchmaking system, and currently there's only two maps on the in Diablo 4 where you can PvP, and it's just all deserts. This is really, it gets really boring quick. And maybe there should be a map rotation where you'll be able to match with people and then get placed into like a arena or some set with different backgrounds and level designs. I mean, there's so many beautiful level designs in Diablo 4. That's the one thing I'm so bummed about. Like this game has such amazing graphics and top-notch effects and top-notch whatever, right? And like in terms of aesthetics and visuals, I love it. But the systems behind it is like it's almost like it was designed by like a 7-year-old kid or something. It's just the depth is not there for core gamers. It's very casual. And at least if you want to make it casual and make it easier to level up, then um, at least create like a well refined PvP system where people can enjoy the end game, or even like a raids or whatever. Like they're missing so many marks on Diablo 4, and I had such a high hope for this game. It's kind of sad because I'm a long time Blizzard fanboy. I grew up with Blizzard games, StarCraft and Warcraft and all that good stuff, right? It's just kind of sad how they are going downhill by a live service thing, and then all the microtransactions trying to just milk out of all the consumers other than actually having enjoyable game for the core gamers and or longtime gamers. But yeah, like I think and I just want to I don't want to go back to Diablo 2 that much, but like Diablo 2 is such a perfect example. Like I mean, this game is 20 years old, and the PvP community is still well alive. Like people enjoy, and I even enjoy watching PvP matches in Diablo 2 because it's so like dynamic, and the build variety is like massive. And like end game in Diablo 2, I mean, some people might not even like it. I didn't like it when I first saw it. But, like the charm system, right? The charms are like like it's crazy how different a character spec can be depending on the charms. And that's where the like a depth comes in and everything. I mean, I don't want to agree with that. It's a good system, but I mean, at least they have some sort of like end game system where you can differentiate your character from other players after hitting certain levels, right? Certain like end game specs. So um end game contents, right? Like yeah, you like I mentioned before, you need to have like some sort of rotating design. People get sick of things really easily nowadays. Like you need to stay tuned. Like that's why I said specific like balancing team would be needed. I mean, I'm not even sure they even care. I mean, they know that just selling games to casual gamers and then just selling more games, and then they don't caring about them after if they quit like after a week or not. they just want to milk the most money, right? I understand their goals, but if you want to at least make a good game, and people who have hopes for the game, maybe you can steer to the right direction. But yeah, it's missing like raid bosses like a Lost Ark. They have tons of content, like crazy how much content the Lost Ark has. I mean, I don't even like that game, but I gotta say, hands down, that game has a lot of content in terms of end game. Um, your progression after 100, like a Diablo 3 style, like a Paragon, but it's gotta be minimal increases. It can't be too OPs, so that like people who don't play as much doesn't feel left out. But at least people who are core gamers and put in hours after hours, they would feel rewarded one way or another, right? You need to make something like that. And constant content update. This is like crucial nowadays because I mean they're calling it a live service game and they're giving updates every 2 to 3 months. I don't understand. Like there's games, there's so many games to play out there. It's just like if you want to stay competitive, you need to update fast. Like it is what it is, right? And it's mind boggling to me how much capital and how much manpower, how much just just how much of the resources you have, and not having these kind of like contents. Like I mean, if one of them even was a core gamer, then they should have thought of this, right? I mean, this is I don't think this would be hard to implement. Like I mean, Lost Ark has a lot less funds and a lot less capital than Blizzard, and they did it, and then, like other smaller games did it too. Like I mean, this matchmaking and like the rank system, I think it's a small addition, and not everyone will enjoy it, but at least the core gamers will enjoy it, right? And like I said, PvP is a lot more rewarding and fun other than, over PvE. I mean, some people might disagree, but it's just my personal taste, right? Um, yeah, but like I just want to mention, unless they add meaningful endgame PvP or PvE contents fast enough, yeah, gamers will move on real quick because consumers nowadays and gamers they get sick of things real quick. Even myself too, right? I used to play one game for a long time, but nowadays there's just so many games to play and so many contents out there that you want to consume. It's just you're not going to be able to capture their attention for long. And yeah, just this 1 week of content is not enough. Diablo 4 doesn't really have any end game. I can't put it any other way. Like, I mean, this is just all a little bit of min maxing and a little bit of PvP here and there in only two fields I have, and you get sick of it real quick. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't want to put it any other positive way because it is what it is. But I really wish they would step it up and create some sort of a matchmaking PvP system of some sort, so that I would continue to enjoy it. But yeah, in the future on this channel, I'm thinking of like putting my thoughts out there on opinions, whatever. Um, like I said, I started getting a lot of views, well, a little views through the Diablo 4 contents, but um, yeah, the game is not gonna last long if they don't move into right direction. Because it is what it is. Core gamers, they know what they want, and they want the reward. Um, they want the rewarding experience from the video game, not just hitting a brick wall and there's nothing else to do end game. And it's just boring. So yeah, thanks for listening in, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.